Hello friends, let us discuss about a small topic that is icterus. Icterus is defined as yellowish discoloration of skin, mucous membrane, sclera secondary to increased bilirubin. There is yellowish discoloration of skin, mucous membrane, sclera secondary to increased bilirubin levels. What are the signs to look for jaundice? First one is sclera. We can see sublingual mucosa, oral cavity, palms and soles, and we can see in skin also. What is the normal bilirubin level? Normal bilirubin level is 0.3 to 1.2 mg per dl. This is normal level of serum bilirubin. There is something called as latent jaundice. In this, we cannot clinically appreciate the jaundice, but bilirubin levels are high. It is about 1.2 to 2.5. We can appreciate clinically if it is more than 2.5 milligram. This is clinically appreciable. In few conditions, there will be yellowish discoloration, but jaundice won't be there. Yellowish discoloration present, but there is no jaundice. What are these conditions? First one is hypercarotenemia. First condition is hypercarotenemia. In hypothyroidism. In case of hypothyroidism, there is decreased metabolism of carotene. In this, there is yellowish discoloration, but without jaundice. Third one is excessive exposure to phenols or nitric acid. Excessive exposure to phenols or nitric acid. These are the conditions where we can see yellowish discoloration without jaundice. We can distinguish clinically like mild and moderate jaundice. We can say it as mild jaundice if only sclera is involved. That is, if there is only yellowish discoloration of sclera. We can take it as moderate if along with sclera there is involvement of skin, that is discoloration of skin also. Based on scleral color, we can differentiate types of jaundice. Based on scleral color. If it is lemon yellow, there is possibility of hemolytic jaundice. If it is dark yellow, there is chances of obstructive jaundice. If it is greenish dark yellow, it is long-standing obstructive jaundice due to oxidation of bilirubin to biliverdin. This is long-standing obstructive jaundice. There is conversion of bilirubin to biliverdin. Based on scleral color, we can differentiate types of jaundice. If it is lemon yellow, there is possibility of hemolytic jaundice. If it is dark yellow, there is possibility of obstructive jaundice. If it is greenish dark yellow, there is chances of long-standing obstructive jaundice, where there is conversion of bilirubin to biliverdin. So, icterus is yellowish discoloration. There is something called as cyanosis. Cyanosis means there is bluish discoloration of skin and mucous membrane resulting from an increased quantity of reduced hemoglobin. This is bluish discoloration. In this, there is increased reduced hemoglobin. Reduced hemoglobin means it is deoxygenated hemoglobin. If this reduced hemoglobin is more than 5 gram percentage, it can be taken as cyanosis. It has mainly two types, that is central cyanosis and peripheral cyanosis. Central and peripheral. Central cyanosis is due to inadequate oxygenation of systemic circulation. This is involvement of systemic circulation. Peripheral cyanosis is due to sluggish peripheral circulation. This is due to reduced peripheral circulation. Central cyanosis is hypoxic hypoxia. In this, there is hypoxic hypoxia. Whereas in peripheral cyanosis, it is stagnant hypoxia. What are the sites to look for cyanosis? In central, we should look for tongue and oral mucosa. Whereas in peripheral cyanosis, we should look for tip of nose, ear lobule, outer lips, fingertips, nail bed and extremities. Next point is, in this central cyanosis, extremities are warm. In this, extremities are warm, whereas in peripheral, extremities are cold. In this, usually partial pressure of oxygen is less than 85%, whereas in peripheral cyanosis, usually partial pressure of oxygen is more than 85. In central cyanosis, usually patient can present with dyspnea and we can see high volume pulse, whereas it is not seen in peripheral cyanosis. In case of central cyanosis, exercise may worsen the condition, whereas in peripheral cyanosis, exercise will improve the condition. There are some atypical presentation of cyanosis. Atypical presentation. First one is differential cyanosis. First one is differential cyanosis. Differential cyanosis means cyanosis is seen in only lower limbs. Only in lower limbs. Differential cyanosis means cyanosis is seen only in lower limbs. Second one is reverse differential cyanosis. This means cyanosis is seen only in upper limbs. Third one is 3/4 cyanosis. 3/4 cyanosis. These are atypical presentations of cyanosis. In this, addition to lower limbs, the left upper limb may be cyanosed. Along with lower limb, left upper limb is cyanosed. This is 3/4 cyanosis. Fourth one is intermittent cyanosis. Intermittent cyanosis. This is seen in Epstein's anomaly. Fifth one is cyclical cyanosis. Fifth one is cyclical cyanosis. It is seen in bilateral choanal atresia. It is seen in bilateral choanal atresia. Next one is orthocyanosis. Orthocyanosis means there is development of cyanosis only in upright position due to hypoxia occurring in erect posture. It is usually seen in pulmonary arteriovenous malformation. It is seen in pulmonary arteriovenous malformation. These are few atypical presentations of cyanosis. So friends, in this session, I have discussed two important signs, that is icterus and cyanosis. Icterus means yellowish discoloration of skin and mucous membrane, whereas cyanosis means bluish discoloration of skin and mucous membrane. If you like this video, please click like button and share this video to our friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you.